Now, have you ever asked yourself, why do women actually manage and grow small income but men don't? Have you ever seen this around the society and you see, if a man is earning like, let's say 70,000 or 80,000, but a lady is earning 20 or 25,000, they tend to kind of do big or much compared to what men are doing out there. I know what's clicking right now, but I'm going to debunk that myth that you're having right now. I know you are saying men have more responsibilities compared to women. Before you actually judge me based on that, I want you to sit down, relax, and watch this video, and you understand the psychological difference between men and women when it comes to money. And by the way, maybe we men, we got some things we can borrow from them as far as the money is concerned. And guess what? If you wouldn't love to miss any good of my future video, I usually post a video each and every day, and it's about money, about tips on how to make money, either online, investing your money, money management, and all kind of savings. All right. So if you don't want to miss any good of my future videos, do this. It doesn't cost you anything. It is free and fast. Down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button. Give this video a thumbs up, and also turn that notification bells. And guess what? By only doing that, a whole YouTube will notify you that I've uploaded a new good video. How about now we get into the serious business and explain to you before you actually judge that, oh, men have more responsibilities compared to women. No. Let me tell you the secret. All right, let's go to the point number one. All right, the point number one, you find that women nest but men make. What exactly does that mean? Women nest but men make. You know what? Psychologically, the way we are created, or the way we are, we find that men have what we call those kind of abilities to nest. When they are given something, they are able to nest. And that's why when they give birth, they are able to bring up very successful kids in terms of the, they love their kids and they kind of nest and all those kind of things. So women nest, but men make. And guess what? We are talented differently. Men, or other women, have the ability to nest, to take care of, to bring upon, all right, to bring forth. That is to nest. But men make. Men means that they have the ability to bring forth that specific thing. They can just go out there, make the money, bring it at home, all right? So that means that if we understand well that if we can be able to incorporate some of the characters that men have or women have, that is nesting, that's what we have. What do I mean by nesting? Have you ever seen yourself somewhere, maybe at the end of the month you get your salary, but the ability to retain that money, it's actually a problem. And that's what I'm saying. They have that ability of nesting, because nesting basically means to take care of, which means you have to retain it. You can't take care of that what you do not have it. So they have that ability of nesting. But men, we just make. We can just go out there, make babies, make money, make nothing, make everything out there, and then we take it back home for the women to take care of it. And that's why we usually build a house and the women make a home out of it. And that's the difference, and that's your support you're supposed to understand. As much as you go out there and make money, try to nest some of it. And that's why we say, that's why we say there is a quote that says that the ability of a man, or rather the success of a man, or the success of a man, is not measured by how high he climbs, but how high he bounces when he hits the bottom. So you have to understand that ability to retain money. And that's why I always tell people, it doesn't matter how much you make, all right? It doesn't matter. The ability, or what brings a difference, is that what do you retain after doing all your things? Then you have to understand that women nest, but men make. That's the difference, all right? The other point is that women are mean, men are unnecessarily generous. Yeah, I know this one may bring a lot of issues. When I say they are mean, I don't mean like they are like bad people. No, what I mean by this is that you find that before they get their money out to do something or to buy somebody something, they really have to make sure that they understand all their maths. They cannot just dish into their pockets to get the money that maybe that money was meant to buy food for their kids, and that's it. But you see what? When men, like, let's say you and me, we meet somewhere a couple of times, or rather couple of years, we haven't been meeting, and then there you are, you're like, hey, you know what? Let's grab some nyama choma, let's grab some 2 or 3 beers here on my bills and such kind of things, because we tend to buy starters based on what we have with that. Anyway, but that point is down below here. I'm gonna share with it. All right. So the point is this: that you find that women tend to be mean, and let me tell you one, necessarily mean. I think I should have included that one. They are necessarily mean, but men are unnecessarily generous. I'm not saying that being generous is bad. Neither am I saying that being mean it's kind of overly bad. What we're supposed to understand is this: you have to operate under the budget. If you've assigned 5,000 towards your entertainment, you stick to that budget. No matter who you meet meets on the way, you have to understand. Well, when I say no matter who you meet on the way, unless somebody is sick, unless somebody calls for an emergency, unless somebody calls for a help and such, there are those we call unavoidable circumstances. Unless it's really, really, really unavoidable circumstance, that's time now you go to your pocket, get that what you meant as a purpose of emergency savings, or maybe your investments or whatever, that kind of things. But this being unnecessarily generous actually kills a lot of men's money. So you have to be very, very careful, otherwise you're gonna get yourself into problems. By the way, sometimes I do receive calls from women and ladies and tell me, hey, you know what, I do not know what I can even tell you, but guess what, my husband is successful, he has a good job somewhere, he makes a good amount of money, but he has a good business, or what, but there's a problem. This guy is so generous, not only to his family members, but as well to the kind of community and society and all those kind of things. I bet it's because men were purposefully made to provide and all those kind of things. I do not know, but anyway, it depends from which society you're watching this video from. All right, now the third point is that women are frugal stroke minimalist when they are alone, but men tend to be largely spenders. Let me tell you one secret. Whenever our lady is married to a certain man, then at that particular point, they kind of shelves everything that they've been having in terms of all the responsibilities to that specific man. And thus you realize that all the things that are expected to be catered for in that specific house by default, well, let me say this in African society. Maybe this may sound different from different societies, but let me refer to the African society. That's what is expected of a man, to provide not only for food, shelter, and clothing, but as well visions, missions, and all spirituality and all those kind of things, because basically they are the kind of the foundation. Not like kind of, but they are the foundation. Unless like men of the nowadays. Anyway, that's the point. So now the point is that you find that these women, when they are alone, when you find maybe they're single mothers or something of so, they tend to be frugal minimalists. They tend to incorporate what we call like these survival mechanisms, whereby they know, hey, you know what, I got nobody to look after, then I have to make sure that I manage this amount of money. When I say this, perhaps maybe I can give you a simple a relative example for you to understand. Is that you find a lady somewhere, maybe she be employed somewhere, maybe in a restaurant, hotel or something. She doesn't earn a lot of money, maybe let's say like 500 Kenyan shillings. And you realize this lady is managing to actually have themselves into a group. And when I say a group, I know Kenyans understand what I'm saying, like this sort of a merry-go-round groups and whatever, like several women come together and then they're like, they contribute like each and every day, like 150 or the assigned amount of money. And then after like a day or after a week, after a month, they kind of give some. Anyway, you understand that crooked way of table banking, all right? So now the point is this, you find that this individual is able to actually be able to set aside 150 Kenyan shillings for the purposes of that table banking sort of a thing. And then, by the way, sometimes they even take this, and you can realize she's doing that 150 each and every day. So she's remaining with 350 Kenyan shillings. She sets aside like 100 Kenyan shillings for the transport, and the rest is catered or is moved towards eating and all other what we call the home utilities and what have you. So what happened is that you find this individual may look or may seem as if they are doing nothing, but when year 1, year 2, year 3 passes, then all the time you realize that there is a difference. You realize these guys have actually joined together. They've managed to buy a piece of land somewhere. They have subdivided the land. Now she's a landowner. After some time, the land appreciates. It's an asset. They still liquidate that amount of money. They kind of move close to a better town, such. And within no time, let's say in a period of 10 years, you realize this lady, she's already what we call financially free, and she's making something out here. Now, dare tell men like that. They're earning 500 Kenyan shillings, even if they are not married, they're just single guys somewhere, maybe working in a mjengo, and you tell them, hey, you know what, guys, we can come together and try to contribute 150 Kenyan shillings. A lot of them, they will despise you. That's a reality. They do not appreciate the humble beginning. They do not appreciate the aspect of patience. They do not appreciate the aspect of sacrifice and discipline and all those kind of things. And that's why you find most men tend to incorporate that discipline and patience when they marry. And that's why you find that some of the African proverbs and the sayings like, I don't know who, if you get a woman who good, you become successful, and all those kind of things. You see, it's basically like you have to wait for somebody to come into your life for them to make you successful. And you can just incorporate all these characters, have them with you, and you can actually go ahead and grow by yourself. That's a reality. But if you believe that you must have somebody into your life, like as a lady or as a wife and what have you, for you to be able to be successful, then it's like changing the monkey but the forest, or rather changing the forest but the monkey is still the same. So they kind of tend to despise all those kind of humble beginning. So you have to understand exactly, hey, there's some of the things that I need to incorporate. Otherwise, I'm going to get myself into problem. Anyway, let's get to the next point. Point number 4. Men finance their status, but women men finance their status. Women already have the value. Absolutely. You find that men tend to associate their status with the money. This one you cannot separate with men. Like when I have money, you really have to prove to people, maybe my peers, maybe my friends, maybe my brothers, my sisters, my mother, whoever surrounds me and whoever matters to me. You find like it feels joy for a man when they tell them, hey, you know what, lunch is on me on Sunday. You guys, you know what, lunch is on me on Sundays. Yeah, that kind of marries that they are necessarily generous, but then you find the process of them financing their status, then that means that they have to actually go deep into their pocket to do exactly that. And by the way, this may sound funny, but the truth is this: men are never born with value, but women are born with a value. So the value of a man increases as he becomes financially financially free, but women is fine. Let's not get there. So the point is this, is that you find that men tend to finance their status for them to look successful and that kind of a thing. So you got to be very careful when you do, or when you're dealing with that kind of approach, because if you do, then you're going to get yourself into challenges and into problems. So the point is this: I'm not saying that women cannot finance their status using their money, but they do so, most of them do so after they become financially free, whenever they realize they have catered or they have actually handled the smaller things like the food, the shelter, the clothing, and what have you, those kind of small things. So you have to understand the psychology between these individuals, and the best and important thing is to let's borrow one thing from each other. All right. Now, the last point is that women tend to do what good Joseph says, but men despise me. By the way, most of the guys who tend to say, hey, your speaking point, you're doing an amazing thing. They make an attempt of actually making an attempt of calling me and asking me, hey, you know what? I have like 50,000, I have 10,000, I have 20, I have 100, I have 200. Hey, what can I do? Can you take me through? You see, women tend to be carried by that, and then they're like, hey, I think this is the best time to take, an action. There was a video that I did post at the beginning of this year, 2023, and I said, hey, you know what? You can use this formula to raise what we call the 66,700 and what have you, saving each and every day with respect to the amount with the given day and what have you. And by the way, a lot of women resonated with that, and they were like, wow, this is amazing, this sounds unique, this is so good, I'm gonna do that. Where is that template? Let me have it. That's a reality. And some of them actually, because I do have a WhatsApp group, then they're telling me, hey, you know what, I actually didn't know that this formula can actually work, and here I am, actually I got myself like a 30,000 somewhere, I've got my 10,000, I've got my 20,000. I mean, they kind of buy that specific thing, and they do exactly. By the way, some of them will text you and tell you, I only 66,700 per year. That sounds like small. I can just do some 2 or 3 deals. I have the money. And then by the time the year ends, they have nothing. That's the reality of this life. Anyway, guys, guess what? You're out there, and by the way, this is the end of the video, and you're up there, you have not subscribed to this channel. Click that subscription button, and also you can grab the number, my number actually, from the description of this specific video. Give me a call. I offer those services pertaining to money management skills for only a cup of coffee. I also have myself booklets about, like this one. By the way, this booklet is only 280 Kenyan shillings. I have others about business plans, business ideas, business whatever, all those kind of things. Use the same number, text me, and you get the copy. We get started, we do the business. For now, it's a goodbye. See you there.